So let's start with microservices. What are the microservices? Microservices are the basically architecture to create the application where where the application we created are the loosely coupled. Basically, in microservices architecture, we divide the large application into small part. For each part, we create the particular microservices where each microservices can be created independently and they can run independently. So let's discuss about the monolithic architecture. Basically, previously we were using the monolithic architecture and now we are using microservices architecture. So what is monolithic architecture? So monolithic architecture is a architecture to create the application. So here what we do that, suppose we need to create any application. So we can use any MVC model view controller. So we can create the front end. Suppose I'm a Java developer, so I use Spring MVC. I can use the JSP, HTML, CSS, JavaScript for the front end. Backend we can create the controller database. After putting all the logic, we can package it. We can create the jar file, var or er, and deploy all the things into a server. Suppose we use the JPOS. So everything is present on a single place just for the monolithic architecture. User interface, business layer, and data interface layer, database. All the things are present in a single place. So if any issue occurs with anything, it will impact all the application. Suppose my application is running and due to some issue occurs, it will impact all the things. Might be your application will crash also. Suppose traffic is coming increasing for one particular module. So here you need to scale your whole application to handle that traffic. So there are some disadvantages of microservice, oh sorry, a monolithic architecture. But for the microservices architecture, suppose I need to create one e-commerce application. It has a number of modules like order module, delivery module, product module, inventory module, card, basically card to create the card, handle the card, check out to check out the related things. Here order module is to manage the order, like you create the order information. Delivery to deliver the product module is basically to handle the product, its information, name. Inventory to maintain the inventory. So what we do in microservices architecture is basically we divide all the business into a small part, and for each part we create one single microservices. So for order service, we create order service. For delivery module, we create delivery service. For product module, we can create product service. For inventory, we can use the inventory service, and they can run independently. They will not interact with each other. Sorry, they are not independent on each other. They can create independently. They can test independently, and they can deploy independently. And databases can also be independent. Suppose you create the order service. If you want for the order service, you can create separate database, or you can use one database and create one database which is used by all the microservices. Basically depend upon you how you maintain. But mostly we need to create separate database for each services, and it can be SQL or no SQL, it depend upon you. So here we have different microservices, and they can communicate with each other. So through the network they can communicate. If we want to communicate, like order service need to communicate with the delivery, it can communicate by synchronous asynchronous communication. So there are the advantages. Advantage can be, suppose if any issue occurs with the delivery model, so only delivery model will be affected here, it will not impact on the other module. Suppose traffic is coming too much, like traffic is increasing for the order service, you can simply scale the order service, you no need to touch the other services. So basically they are the advantages of microservices. In microservice architecture, we can use the containers which help us to package and run the application isolate. Basically if you are using Spring Boot, basically for the Java we can use the Spring Boot to create the microservices. Then we can use the Kubernetes Docker to create the package Docker image, and for the maintaining images we can use the Kubernetes. Each microservices we are creating can be created by different programming language. Like we can create the order model in Java, delivery model in Node.js, we can use the Go. It depend upon us which language we want to use. So you can divide your whole team into a small team, and they can maintain that service, that services. And what are the advantage and disadvantage of microservices? So if you are working on a microservices architecture, there are number of advantages. Scalability, each service can be scaled independently, no need to scale the whole application. Yes, so if traffic is coming too much high, you just need to scale that particular service. Suppose traffic is increasing for order module, we can simply scale the order service, you no need to touch other service. And resilience is basically if how you wanted to handle the fault tolerance. If one service failed, it will not impact to other service, it will increase system robustness. Your service will be robust. Suppose my delivery model is fail, so it will not impact on the other will work. We just need to handle it. How we can handle it, we can basically use the resilience for the circuit breaker pattern to handle that. And agility, deployment can be done quickly, we can easily add new feature and fix the bug. So if you wanted to create the application, you can divide the whole team into a small team, and a small team can work on their particular microservices. And bug can be easily fixed, you need to work on that particular service only. Cost effectiveness also, as your team size is reduced, can be developed quickly. And portable is also, we can use the docker, we can create the docker image, and independently we can run it isolatedly by Kubernetes. And microservices have some disadvantages also. Basically, we suppose you created too many numbers of microservices. Now while managing that too many microservices, complexity can be increased, like deployment, monitor, debugging. Each services we need to deploy, monitor it, debug it. Suppose we have number of services, service A, service B, C, D. Service A call to service B call to service C, and service C call to D. So we need, and any issue occurs on service A, we need to check all the services. So the complexity can be increases. And distributed system complexity, basically many services can need to communicate with each other. It can be cause the issue like network latency or fault tolerance. So this can be also issue. And security concern can also occurs, because we have number of microservices. So we need to use authentication, authorization, data encryption for that. So they are the basically disadvantages of microservices. So each architecture has some advantage, disadvantage, and depends upon our requirement, we can use the particular thing. So yeah, this is all about the introduction of microservices. And in the later we will learn about how to create the services. I will use Spring Boot to create the microservices, as I'm a Java developer. So I will use my Spring Boot to create the microservices. So yeah guys, this is all about this video. Thank you everyone.